woke up to this headline this morning: North Korea threatening a preemptive nuclear attack against the United States. This coming on the same day that U.S. and South Korean military exercises are taking place in the Pacific, and the United Nations could impose here in New York its strongest sanctions yet as punishment for last month's nuclear test. Now, General Jack Keane, retired four-star general, former vice chief of staff of the Army, and a Fox News military analyst. And, General, good morning to you. A lot to go through here. There's a vote in the UN Security Council maybe in about 15 minutes from now, so we'll wait on that. But we heard about the threat when we woke up today. It's happened before, but is this different, a different kind of threat from North Korea?
Well, not really. I mean, it's different in the sense that it's Kim Jong-un doing it, the 28-year-old leader of the country. And, you know, he's frustrated by these sanctions that are going to take place today. And certainly the fact that Russia and China, after weeks of negotiation, have also agreed to these sanctions. The Chinese in particular, I mean, they are frustrated with the North Koreans because they laid the law down and they told them, listen, we got a transition in power taking place in our country. We don't want trouble on the peninsula. And despite that, they conducted a ballistic test first in December that we all witnessed, a ballistic missile test, and then they conducted a nuclear test in February. So the Chinese are as frustrated as everybody else. Finally, we're going to get some results here.
I want to show our viewers the map here in a moment, but, you know, in light of what you just mentioned about these tests that are recent, just in the past month or two, should we take the threat more seriously now because of that?
Well, most analysts, including myself, think it's saber-rattling, but nonetheless, you know, the Pentagon takes the capabilities that the North Koreans have seriously. I mean, this is a country with a nuclear weapon, probably 4 or 5, and they're trying to weaponize that in the sense they want to put it on a ballistic missile. And certainly we take that seriously, given the kind of people that run this regime. It clearly is a rogue regime, and it's very repressive to its people. But the truth is, they do not have any interest in territorial expansion. They're trying to preserve what they have. They have a nuclear weapon to guarantee the preservation of the regime. That's fundamentally what is taking place.
The other thing is to keep in mind, you know, the cooperation, to what extent it is with Iran right now, too, in that nuclear program. Here are the players in the region: Japan to the east, Russia, China, South Korea here. Advance at one time, going back to 1953. 38th parallel was what set up North and South Korea. That was the armistice that was agreed to. Still technically at war today. And just 2 days ago, the North, again, they threatened to blow up that armistice that's been in place since 1953. One last thing here, General, I want to ask you about this, too, and that's the range of capability that North Korea may or may not have. Here's Hawaii on the map down here with Honolulu, said to be a range of 6,200 miles, which, if that is the case, General, that would take in, what, Anchorage, Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, Las Vegas, and Los Angeles, in addition to Hawaii. Do we believe they are this capable with this range at the moment with their rocket system?
No, they don't have that kind of range yet, but they're clearly developing that range, and they eventually will have that kind of capacity because they've got the scientists and the technicians, you know, to be able to do that. And they certainly want to achieve that. They're going to advertise it because they use it as political brinksmanship in their negotiations with the United States.
Yeah, one more thing here on this UN vote. It may grab a headline this afternoon. Do you expect much, if anything, to come from new additional sanctions against North Korea?
There'll be some sanctions, you know, in terms of some restrictions on their international banking, some control of trade. But the truth of the matter is, Bill, we've been here before on sanctions, and they developed a nuclear weapon. We've been here before on sanctions, and now they've got a capability of a missile and a weapon. It will have no impact on the regime.
Well, General, thank you for your insight. Jack Keane,